From the Jeannie Hayes Virtual Studio, this is Marquette Now.
Good evening, I'm Connor Graff.
And I'm Natalie St. Ange.
Crews are working around the clock to repair damage at the MCGUIRE Center.
A car drove into the main entrance this past weekend. Grace Knatzer has the details.
The MCGUIRE Center is under repair after a car crashed into it over Thanksgiving weekend. The driver came southbound down 12th Street around 2:30 Saturday morning and ran headfirst into the main entrance. The car ended up hanging from the bleachers. MUPD said the driver was cited for intoxicated driving. The crash led to the women's basketball game against University of Illinois Chicago to be moved to the Fiserv Forum. The AL is still slated to be used for other upcoming games, including the NCAA volleyball tournament. This isn't the first time the AL has suffered from a crash. Another vehicle collided with the glass doors in October 2017 after a woman lost control of her vehicle. Maintenance crews are working to clean up the mess. University spokesman Chris Stolarski said the damage was limited overall. I'm Grace Knatzer, Marquette Wire News.
University spokesman Chris Stolarski says the cost can't be disclosed due to university policy, but we know that the majority of the mess will be gone by this weekend. Stolarski says the structural integrity of the building hasn't been affected as a result of this crash, nor the one in 2017.
Marquette is receiving mixed reactions after announcing next year's tuition hike. Tuition will increase by about $2,000 for the 2019 to 2020 year, making the total cost just over $43,000 for full-time students. Part-time and summer session students don't have to worry though, those rates aren't changing.
Several students who are planning to study abroad in England next semester are scrambling for new plans. Those students were told they couldn't attend King's College in London because of a miscommunication between King's and Marquette. Students were given the wrong application deadline. King's also said the spring program was already full, leaving no room for Marquette students.
Everyone's seen the construction for the new Athletic Human and Performance Research Center across from the AL.
But what might be the most important part of the structure is what's underground. Shane Hogan has a story.
Walk across this future Marquette green space. You'll be walking over one of the university's most important environmental initiatives. This is the stormwater collection system, over 100 feet in length, 90 inches in diameter, buried under the ground.
The main focus to have these stormwater retention tanks is to first and foremost reduce runoff throughout the campuses, streets, parking lots, and also this accommodates for future expansion. When the time comes, Marquette wants to expand or build additional buildings, the capacity of these tanks can withstand that.
Not only does it help keep water off of Marquette streets, it also filters water back into lakes and streams around the area.
I mean, it comes down to sustainability, and obviously Marquette is committed to providing sustainable structures and accommodating what is good for the environment, what's good for their campus.
Vice President for Planning and Strategy Laura Strigan said, the system is reducing peak stormwater discharge rates by nearly 65%.
So again, eliminating that runoff, preventing it in every which way they can, promoting more fresh water back to lakes and streams is just a good stewardship.
Construction for the AHPRC and the green space outside is planned to be finished in spring of 2019.
Well, right now it doesn't look like much, but when the time comes, it'll be one of the most vital locations on Marquette's campus. From the AHPRC, I'm Shane Hogan at Marquette Wire News.
The engineering department will be receiving a financial gift soon. Marquette will receive nearly $600,000 from the U.S. Department of Education over the next 3 years. The money will support doctoral students in the computer and electrical engineering programs. Marquette will match the grant with about $150,000.
Marquette is facing backlash from students this week. The university rejected a call from Milwaukee Alderman Robert Donovan to open its vacant hotel property to the homeless this winter. Marquette said it's not in the position to open a shelter right now, but over 300 people signed a petition asking the school to reconsider.
Did you know you can use a straw and help save the environment at Marquette? All campus dining halls are now plastic-free, instead offering eco-friendly paper straws. Jack Ryan has the story.
When you think of a college campus being environmentally friendly, these objects might not come to mind. Marquette University's dining services stated last May they will no longer buy and use plastic straws, but use paper straws. Marquette's goal is to become a more environmentally friendly campus. Americans use 500 million drinking straws a day, with scientists stating straws can take up to 200 years to decompose. Marquette students have already chosen not to use plastic straws.
They say like it's more eco-friendly, and yeah, I like to use a water bottle, so I bring that around kind of everywhere I go.
Yeah, I feel like to be conscious of like being green, so to say, is like a decision. And they say like every little thing matters, but as college students, I feel like we have 10,000 other things on our plates.
Marquette visitor Samantha Elliott believes it's this generation, though, that will make an environmental difference.
Inspiration coming up is the exact place to start because, you know, they're consciously aware and we care because it's our future.
Paper straws will be most commonly found in the Brew Bayou in Marquette Place.
I went to the University of Vermont and visited the school back when I was a freshman, and like it was crazy the amount of like recycling and how like well like signed I guess everything was. And it was like a truly conscious effort because everywhere you walked you could see it.
Dining Services is currently in the process of phasing out the last plastic straws. From Marquette Place, I'm Jack Ryan, Marquette Wire News.
Marquette's class of 2022 says they have high expectations for their first year. About 83% of freshmen took the annual student survey this year. 77% of survey takers said their GPA will be between a 3.5 and 4.0 this year. 95% of the class also said they plan to be involved in a student organization or club sport during their undergrad years.
Going to college can be tough, especially if you're the first in your family to do it.
First-generation students spoke about what it's like to forge that path. Riley Tracy has the story.
Birthday mom was the first thought on Joanna Lozano's mind this morning.
Feliz cumpleaños. Les dije que era su cumpleaños hoy.
Joanna Lozano is a first-generation student.
It's definitely a lot of pressure, but I've learned a lot from it, and yeah, it's made me a stronger person now.
But she's far from the only one. This is Carissa Fontanez, a junior in the College of Nursing.
This is my mom, my aunt, my grandma. I feel like those are like just my rocks, and they've always been pushing me to be the best version of myself, and they're the reason why I kind of came to Marquette, just to make them proud.
Family plays a large role in these girls' lives because it's who they are and how they got here.
Families, we're very family oriented, so I did not want to go far away.
I sent her selfies of me and my scrubs, and she starts crying because she never imagined that for herself, and she worked so hard to get her kid there, so that's pretty big.
The number of first-generation students among the undergraduate body at Marquette has increased from 17% in 2012 to 22% in 2016, according to the Office of Institutional Research and Analysis.
I'll be the first one to graduate college in my family, and I feel like education has always been one of their big values. They didn't have the opportunity to get a good education where they were from, and the fact that I have the opportunity to have a career and have a diploma, that's a huge thing for them. That's one of their main goals in life.
While we have to say goodbye for now, there's always pictures and the promise of talking again soon.
Okay, ciao, amo. Ciao.
Ciao.
I'm Riley Tracy, Marquette Wire News.
After we hang up.
I really hope I'm not trekking through any snow this week. What about you, Connor?
Yeah, it's been really rough out there.
It's snowy, it's cold. Asia Middleton, what can we expect?
Well, good thing we don't have no snow right now because I sure don't have my snow boots. But it's quite chilly in the city of Milwaukee. Right now, we are experiencing a low of 26 degrees. Humidity is at 74%, and precipitation is at 60%, while winds are coming southwest 5-10 miles per hour. Now for the overnight lows. We're all in the lower 20s of the state of Wisconsin. Superior is at 22. Madison and Green Bay are both at 24, and Milwaukee's at 36 degrees. Now for the tomorrow's highs. We're all getting a little higher in the higher 28s and lower 30s, while Superior is at 28 degrees. Both La Crosse, Green Bay, and Madison are at 34, and Milwaukee's at 36 degrees. Tonight, we're still at a low 26. Humidity is at 74%, and we have 50% chance of precipitation. Winds are coming from southwards, 5-10 miles per hour. Tomorrow, we're getting a little bit warmer with 36 degrees, 77% of humidity, precipitation 20%, and winds coming southward 8 miles per hour. Now for the 5-day forecast. Friday, we're experiencing a little higher, 39 degrees, low 34, partly cloudy. Saturday, get ready for the strong winds. We're having a high 40% degrees and 37 low degrees. Sunday, we are having 39 high of degrees and 31 low. Monday, partly sunny, 35 degrees, low 29, and Tuesday, 32 degrees, low 22 degrees. Now stay tuned for some more news. We'll be right back after the break.
Welcome back. Finals week is coming in fast, and that means stress levels are rising among students.
But there is a way to escape in between hours of studying. Lucy Sullivan has the story.
This is going to be my fourth one coming up.
Senior Noah Richard knows Milwaukee winters well. So when he hears the words white and fluffy, he thinks
snow.
Other students think the same.
Snow.
But at the Evans Scholars House, white and fluffy means something else. Meet Koo, Marquette's warm and cuddly service dog.
Gorgeous.
Director of the Counseling Center, Dr. Mike Zabrowski, rescued the Great Pyrenees pup.
Because I wanted to make a therapy dog out of him.
And Koo has been comforting students like Jessica Narvaez for 2 years now.
Like even right now, like I'm studying for tests, and like this right now just makes me feel so much better.
When he's not making house calls, Koo can be found roaming the lobby of the counseling center, which Dr. Zabrowski said has made students less intimidated to seek help.
We've actually had some people who said they came for counseling after they came and visited Koo. They kind of saw our place and they felt more comfortable and they made an appointment themselves.
Studies done by UCLA on animal-assisted therapy have shown that the simple act of petting animals releases an automatic relaxation response. If you haven't met him yet, you can visit Koo at the Counseling Center in Holt-Husen Hall, Monday through Friday. From the Evans Scholars House, I'm Lucy Sullivan, Marquette Wire News.
Holiday cheer is finding its way onto campus. The annual tree lighting ceremony, Igniting Hope, will celebrate the start of Advent this Monday. Students will also be handing out hot chocolate at campus bus stops, and student a cappella groups will sing carols in the AMU.
Marquette will be losing a longtime staff member soon. 1976 alumna Karen Dossetel is retiring after being with the university for nearly 26 years. She has served as the Director of Student Educational Services since 1993. Her retirement reception will be this Monday.
Several students are celebrating after winning prizes in the annual 24-hour film race. The race challenges filmmakers to create a short film using a common genre, pop, and line. Caitlin Bross has the action.
Does Marquette have a future Steven Spielberg on their hands? Students got to test their filmmaking skills at the 4th annual 24-hour film festival. Students gathered in Johnson Hall to draft ideas for their short films.
We'll have 24 hours to come back with a finished film that is 3 to 7 minutes.
Each year, the film festival has a genre, line, and prop they have to use in the film.
The genre was
Fantasy.
The line was?
You keep using that word. I do not think it means what you think it means.
And the prop was Ariel from A Little Mermaid, circa 1989.
The 4 teams did not waste any time in creating their films. They had to write a script, film, and edit, all within one day.
The drive that is behind it is that you don't always have to make your best work, you just have to get out and work.
The winning film of the 2018 festival is called Absolve You. Winners bonded throughout the experience of creating their film.
You're with other people, you make friends. Like, I've talked to these goons before, but like I think we kind of bonded too over 24 hours of like becoming closer and working together.
The whole like creative process to actually do it not in like a class setting was super cool.
Yeah. I'm Caitlin Bross, Marquette Wire News.
That was
Me neither.
If you're wondering what you should do after college, you may find your answer. The university will hold a career and graduate school fair Friday at 3:30 p.m. in the AMU. The fair will focus on service programs for social justice-oriented students. Representatives from AmeriCorps, the Trinity Fellows Program, and Marquette grad school programs will be there to talk to students.
Don't go anywhere. Zoe Comerford will bring you a sports update next.
And we've got a new episode of Down to the Wire with Clara Jansen.
Welcome back to Marquette Now. I'm Zoe Comerford with your Marquette Sports Update. Women's volleyball is looking to rebound after a loss to number 9 Creighton in the Big East tournament Saturday. This is the second consecutive season Creighton has beaten Marquette in the championship match. Even so, Marquette volleyball maintains an overall ranked seed in the NCAA tournament for the first time in program history. The Golden Eagles are the 14th seed, so they will host the first 2 rounds of the tournament this weekend at the MCGUIRE Center. The university said the games won't be affected by the repairs being done at the Al. Following the win, the Golden Eagles are ranked number 16 in NCAA rankings. The team ended their regular season 26-6 and will face off against High Point this Friday at 7 p.m. Here's what head coach Ryan Tice had to say about the Golden Eagles' historic run.
It means a lot. I mean, we've been working at it for a while. We scheduled very aggressively this preseason to try and put ourselves with a really good team in position to do it, so I couldn't be happier for the group.
Women's basketball is facing off against the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee Panthers right now. The last time I checked, the score was 28-8 with Marquette leading in the first quarter. The game was originally slated for the MCGUIRE Center, but had to be relocated due to damage from Saturday's car crash. Marquette is looking for its second consecutive win tonight after dominating the University of Illinois Chicago Saturday at Fiserv Forum. In the Golden Eagles' 96-32 victory over the Flames, 4 players put up double-digit point totals. Senior Amani Wilborn led Marquette with a double-double of 18 points and 10 rebounds. The Golden Eagles sit at number 22 with a record of 4-1 on the season. They will host the University of Michigan Sunday at 4 p.m. at the Al. In men's basketball action, Marquette is still riding a high from defeating Charleston Southern University 76-55 last night. All Golden Eagles contributed in the victory, but standout performances came from newcomers Joseph Chartouni, Ed Morrow, and Brendan Bailey. Playing his season-high 32 minutes, Chartouni recorded 13 points, shooting 5 for 7 from the field. He also became the first Marquette player since 2009 to have 7 steals in a single game. The Golden Eagles look to extend their win streak to 3 games as they play number 12 Kansas State Saturday at 1:30 p.m. at Fiserv Forum. That's all I have for sports, but don't go yet. Clara Jansen will be right back with Down to the Wire.
Marquette has been under fire lately for rejecting a call to turn a hotel property into a homeless shelter.
We have a special guest to weigh all sides of the argument. Let's go to Clara Jansen for Down to the Wire.
Thanks, Natalie and Connor. I'm Clara Jansen, and welcome to tonight's episode of Down to the Wire. I'm joined here tonight by our special guest, Maya Karenich, the Executive Opinions Editor for the Marquette Wire. Welcome, Maya.
Thank you for having me.
So this week, for the editorial in the Marquette Tribune, you wrote about an incident that happened recently where 2 of Milwaukee City aldermen had a press conference on homelessness and asked the university to open up the City Center Hotel to house the homeless this winter. So the university purchased that hotel a few years back, but it's been sitting vacant for a few months now. As you were researching and writing the editorial, what opinion did you end up concluding?
So after talking with the e-board and then doing more research on my own, we came to the conclusion that it was kind of an unrealistic request of the aldermen. There really wouldn't be enough time for Marquette to turn that into a homeless shelter. So Marquette responded appropriately to say what they did, and they were really looking out for the best interest of everyone with the decision that they made.
Mm-hmm. So the building itself is that it wasn't in like a position to house people?
Yeah, correct. So there's no furniture, there's no electricity, so obviously they would have to do that first, which would take time. And there's other things that they would have to do too, like getting a business license before they could even open the shelter for people.
Okay, so there were varying reactions from students around campus, including a petition going around that has almost 300 signatures right now, actually, urging the university to go along with what the aldermen were requesting. So if those students are listening right now, what would you tell them to help explain why it's an unrealistic idea?
Yeah, I think there's like a common misconception that it's easy to open a homeless shelter, but it's really not as simple as just opening the doors and allowing people to come in. As we said before, the building isn't in good shape to have people, and then they would need a business license. There's other steps that the university would have to take if they wanted to open it as a nonprofit, which would take time to do as well. And they would have to have other things in place, like food programs and like other programs for the people there.
So I know that university officials were caught really off guard by this, and they didn't know the aldermen were going to be making that statement, and the university immediately responded saying that it was unrealistic for them to do that, but Marquette itself is a Jesuit institution and they do truly care about the homeless community. So what are some of the things that Marquette and the student body here does to help out with the homeless situation in Milwaukee?
Currently, a couple programs that they have are Midnight Run and Project Homeless Connect. So that's like through the university and their programs that help the homeless within Milwaukee.
Okay. Yeah, I know that there was some discussion between Marquette student government and between city or the university officials as to what they can do in the future. So I think we should be getting some answers and further plans soon in the future.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So I guess my last question would be, have you gotten any feedback about the editorial from anyone?
I actually haven't. I've been checking the comments to see if anyone was going to say anything because of how much the students were posting about the petition and stuff, but I haven't seen anything yet.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's about all the time we have for tonight. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And now back to Natalie and Connor.
Thanks for tuning in to Marquette Now. For more news, visit marquettewire.org. I'm Connor Graff.
And I'm Natalie St. Ange. Good night, Marquette.